what is... Okay, it's TurboGrafx is what Peachy is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I couldn't remember for a second.
I mean, if they're going to give one to the TurboGrafx, that opens the floodgates. Just give us everything. Can we have a Tamagotchi girl? That's a handheld.
That's not really a handheld. That's cheating a little bit. That's like saying, let's put the Tiger Electronics in.
I want
like saying,
both.
Okay, that's like saying that the VMU should have been a little sister because it's a handheld. And it's like, that's not a handheld.
It's still could have been a character.
VMU is a fucking memory card.
They
That is
gave
undoubtedly what we're looking for, by the way.
Yeah,
Like,
Red Killasheen.
Look at that fucking
How long
thing.
till we get a girl who's just a CPU goddess that represents Killasheen?
Never, I hope.
Okay. Like, they just create a fictional console, and it's, like, called the Avenir Dragon or something.
The Ava Dragon, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe that's a
I'm just
thing.
gonna have to make up all these characters myself.
Something like that, anyway.
Yeah, no, just the idea of, like, characters that are just based off of random stuff is a thing that I've toyed with before. I was talking with some friends about it once, and we're going to do characters that were just different, like, drinks. And I told them, just describe your favorite drink, and I'll come up with the character. I never did it.
No.
No, I forgot.
That's fine.
I occasionally joke with coworkers. I work in a Starbucks inside a grocery store, so it's not real Starbucks. But like, I'll occasionally joke like, "Hey, we should mutiny and just go make our own coffee shop. I'll make a character for every single drink. Every drink has a mascot." And no one's taken me up on it, because none of us have the money to make a store.
No, not at all. Why would you ever have the money enough to make a store?
I can't. I work in a store, so I don't have enough money to buy a store. And I never will.
Well,
that's our economy.
Yeah, probably.
But, like, if we did, it's like, yeah, no, it's going to be the most graphical anime coffee shop ever. So donate to our Kickstarter for that.
No, don't.
There
don't
is no
joke.
Kickstarter. No.
Okay, so finally we got the Millennium Labyrinth.
That would actually not be a very good thing to kickstart, because you wouldn't be able to reap any kind of benefits if you weren't in the area that we opened the store in.
Yeah.
Alright, Millennium Labyrinth. Fuck.
What's up, Millennium Labyrinth?
It's time to duel.
Inhabitants, Prince Cardbird, Edge, Aimable, Fairyfly, Tank Type 99.
Cool.
That sounds like a Killasheen if I've ever heard one.
It's probably not. There is that Avenir tank
I know
thing.
there's actually a tank.
So now we gotta look for the plans for these dungeons.
So now we've got to get plans for the next dungeon.
Yeah, so we've kind of just started ignoring the story now.
Well, I mean, we're going to go into the story next. It's just we wanted to do this first to make sure that we didn't
so we don't lose anything else.
Like that.
Do the other dungeons have this issue where if you don't get the plan completed, you don't get the things for the items and enemies? Was it just Hong Kong?
No, everybody has that problem.
Okay, that's so annoying.
Yeah, it's we just kept getting them because we were paying attention originally when we were playing through. It's just we fucked up specifically right on Dong Kong and only Dong Kong.
Video games are bullshit. You have to pay attention to them or you die.
No, it's not even about... Okay, first of all, we didn't die. We finished the game without it. But it's like... that. It's fine to say, yes, you have to pay attention to a video game, because that's kind of... You should pay attention to your video
Unless it's
game.
like an idle game, so you're just clicking for cookies.
That's the other one, was Yukawa Ruins.
Okay.
So we picked it up. There it is. And we got a new ribbon.
It's probably the same old bell ribbon, but for someone different.
Yeah, probably. Either for a different person, or it's just in a different color, or it's the exact same bell ribbon that we always get.
Are we not
that's
fighting
totally
any enemies?
Well, a possibility. I can fight an enemy, sure. Hold on.
Yeah, like, do we not need any items off?
No. We just wanted the Yukawa Ruins.
Okay. I mean, we might need something that turns out to drop here to get some plan down there.
I mean, later on, yeah, we probably totally will, but I don't know what that would be. I mean, we needed something to get the bigger enemies for this zone, and I'm betting it's dropped here.
Probably.
I just don't remember what it was.
Well, when we're out of this, we can check our plans.
I can actually check it while we're in this.
Oh, right.
They're just not in battle.
No, I mean, that's what I meant. Like, when we're out of this battle.
When I'm out of the battle, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
It was...
We're in Millennium Labyrinth.
Amazing jelly.
And last station, 25%.
Yeah, which is probably not going to happen, but what does Amazing Jelly drop off of real quick? The monster...
I'm going to guess a giant Dogu.
Well, it's probably a Dogu, yeah, but I don't know if it's going to be the giant one or what's going on. What was it called again?
Amazing Jelly.
Amazing Jelly. Yeah, and it's not showing up. So
There's
that
a bunch
means
of question marks.
Yeah, it's got to be something that is question mark oriented.
Unless it's off of something that's not a Dogu, but I think considering all these other things are jelly, it's probably.
Yeah, it's got to be a Dogu drop.
Yeah, most definitely.
I'll take a little skim and just see if I can see anything in here that looks like a Dogu.
Yeah, we'd be able to see it from a decent distance.
You think so, anyway. That's nothing.
Was that a save thing?
Bird. Yeah, that was a save.
Okay, does that mean there's supposed to be a boss here?
Not always. Especially because if you get a dungeon out of a plan, I think it never gives you an actual plot in it at all.
It's just weird that they had a save thing there. I guess it's just for convenience.
There's an item down there I should probably go and get.
Yeah, just in case.
Well, it's more than just in case. It's just because usually if you see the blue items, you need to go for them. Like the non-question mark ones, the little floating
Yeah,
cubes.
like we've gotten plans out of them.
Yeah, those things are actually usually pretty necessary.
Yeah.
We should not seeing it anywhere.
Probably fight that tank just for whatever comes off of it.
Yeah, probably. We haven't fought one of these flowers yet, but I doubt the flowers are going to drop our amazing goo or whatever.
I highly doubt it. But they might drop something else that we'll need eventually.
I think most of the flowers just drop yellow, yellow pigment?
Which we need for plans for other dresses, but that's not really what we're going for right now.
Yeah, and also I think you can just buy pigment, actually.
Yes,
I'm not 100%
finish the
sure,
plan
but
for the
I'm pretty
pigment.
sure you can, yeah.
Like there were plans from, it's like you had to collect petals and then you get the pigment from a plan and then you go and buy it from the shop.
Yeah.
Leave it to me.
So, rainbow petals. So like rainbow pigment, probably.
Yeah, probably. Okay. So I think that's it. I don't think we have any other reason to be here. I'm just gonna eject button out because we keep picking those up.
Oh yeah,
too.
we never got the escape anywhere plan, did we? I mean, we never finished it.
No, I don't think we ever did. So now we want to go in and we want to see. I'm sure we don't have the stuff that we need for it, but Yukawa Ruins. Oh yes, we do. We have everything. We have everything we need for that.
And some of that was stuff we were getting in the dungeon we were just in.
Yeah.
I know the silver crowns were thing we were picking up there.
Oh my gosh. I think Yukawa Ruins should have the next place that we're supposed to go, which I think is a Loey related thing.
I remember. You had, before we had figured out that a bunch of stuff was cut off from us, you had been checking to see what we needed.
Yeah.
Yukawa Ruins showed up a lot.
No, I know Yukawa Ruins did a lot. It's I think it drops enemies, but then it's also got like zones that you pick up, and it's got a bunch of
like there's
things.
a ton.
Is that a boy?
Oh
my
shit!
God, it is! Look at that! It's a husbando.
Nice.
Holy shit!
It's like a host club member or something.
Yeah, it looks
blushing
like
hot guy. Okay.
Shit,
kind of generic.
I thought for sure we weren't going to get anything like that in here. I thought it was just going to be 100% like
just little girls that you date.
Yeah, like male-oriented dating sim stuff kind of thrown in. I wouldn't have judged them otherwise, to be honest. I wouldn't have cared.
I just kind of assumed that was their joke they were going for. It was just going to be the one kind of thing.
But no, they're making fun of everyone, I guess.
Yeah, and they're giving us a husband to beat the shit out of.
Yeah. Let's see if I can actually get...
I don't think you can
I'm
get
not going to be
both.
able to. I can hit him, but I can't hit the other one at the same time, I don't think.
Yeah, well, it doesn't really matter. They don't seem to have been putting up...
Hey.
Oh, shit.
I am
the
best.
That shouldn't happen.
The best. You're welcome.
Did that thing make a noise as it died?
No, that was our EXE drive going up.
Oh, okay.
It's the weird, like, almost a sound effect of someone singing, sort of, in the background.
Yeah, I thought it was we were
every
hearing
time-
our husband die.
No, every time the bar goes up, it makes that sound effect. And it took me a while to realize that that's what it even was, because I kept hearing it too for like weeks and weeks and weeks when we were playing this and I was doing grinding. And I couldn't figure out what it was, and then I figured out what it was, and I was like, oh, there's an audio cue for that. That's so cool.
So I'm just gonna say that the blushing hot guy and the Christmas, if you put them next to each other, would probably fall in love.
Yeah, probably.
I just
combined.
I'm just gonna assume that they're
Charger.
not even from the same dating sim. You just put
No,
the
probably
two dating
not.
sims next to each other in the same folder on your computer, and then them beautiful romance blossoms.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. War times 3.
Just to make a tactics game. This is
Well,
a
that
game
I think that's
disc
just
chip.
for war games, but yeah, I mean, maybe.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, war isn't explicitly a game type. So it could
yeah,
also
I would
mean like a
argue that
Call of
could be
Duty
a
kind.
genre, potentially. Like, yeah, it would be your Call of Duties, your SOCOM U.S. Navy SEALs, your...
I haven't heard that name in a long
Yeah,
time.
I know.
Those,
That's
do they still make those?
No, I'm pretty sure
Do
they
they
don't.
still make Call of Duty?
Yeah, they make Call of Duty.
I know they still make Tom Clancy's.
Battlefield, there was a Battlefield game, I believe, announced at E3, but I could be wrong. I think there was a Call of Duty technically announced at E3, but I don't remember.
Do they... God, they're all the same, aren't they? I don't know the difference.
The difference is when they take place or where they take place, usually.
But I thought, like, one series will cover more than one war.
They do. In fact, most of them have started moving on to covering wars that don't exist.
Yeah, like World War II, but there's zombies, sort
No,
of
no, no.
things.
Like future wars against
Oh, okay.
technology, and it's basically just not quite Terminator. It's like low tier Terminator.
Yeah, no, if they had to keep going with historical wars, they'd have to go back in time way too far for the genre to work. So it would be like first-person crossbows in, like,
basically.
France against England.
A little bit.
Call of Duty, Joan of Arc.
Yeah.
It wouldn't work not without changing the genre.
Yeah, well, you'd also have to change
Well, I
the
guess you
plot
could have
quite a bit.
first-person swords. Isn't Skyrim first-person swords? Kind
I
of,
mean,
sometimes.
Yeah.
So it would not work for Call of Duty. Or the Call of Duty likes. They're all the
Probably
same.
not. Probably not.
Yeah.
I don't imagine it would, honestly.
Well, I guess you could do a thing where you're a time traveler and you go back to historical wars with a gun. But that seems like the balance of that game wouldn't be very good.
No, that sounds like you maybe wouldn't want to do that, to be honest. I don't know.
Or maybe your character's a wizard and they've just got a magic wand that suspiciously acts and looks like a gun.
It's my favorite kind of magic. A gun!
That's some Final Fantasy logic, honestly.
No, okay. I suggest if anybody ever gets the chance, there is a, oh god, who did the movie? I want to say it was a Bakshi movie, but I don't remember if it was actually a Bakshi movie. It's called Wizards.
Yeah, that's
Is that Bakshi?
Ralph Bakshi,
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I know
have.
of it.
I've seen it
Okay.
multiple times. It's basically my favorite Bakshi movie. And spoilers for like a 40-year-old movie, but the very end of it is two wizards having a fight, and one of them goes, "Let me show you my favorite magic trick." And he shows one sleeve and he goes, "Nothing up my sleeve." And then he whispers, "You always were a son of a bitch." And then he reaches into one sleeve and pulls out a gun and shoots the other wizard, and that's the end of
Beautiful.
it. That's literally the end of the movie.
I sadly do not have a very strong experience
Opinion with Bakshi
yeah,
stuff.
not opinion,
Yeah.
experience. It's just I haven't seen a lot of his works. I've seen Fire and Ice and I've seen Cool World. Cool
So
World is a
those
real
are-
fucking work.
I'm gonna say those are the two good ones. Wizards is okay. It's actually not that good. I'm gonna
Fire
warn
and Ice
you right
isn't that
now.
good. Fire and Ice is basically just this is Frank Frazetta the movie, but
Yeah,
you can make it fun if you really just sort of go into it expecting it to be nuts. Just characters screaming and staring at each other and slouching while they hold their swords, and then suddenly everyone's rotoscoped and they're running at each
Yeah,
other.
so there is some stuff that I would argue Wizards is pretty good for, but to be honest, the movie overall is not very good. And Rolf Bakshi's body of work is honestly stuff that I would suggest people not usually go in
controversial content of various kinds and flavors.
You have to understand, he is ancient. He is like the oldest human being alive right now. Like,
and that's probably not true.
But he's seriously ancient. And a lot of the stuff he produced was during like the 60s and 70s, and it's really over-the-top adult animation, and a lot of it, like an absolute shit ton of it, is stuff that nobody should ever touch again because, oh my god,
I just want to go look it up.
It's intense. It's like overtly, in some cases, incredibly racist in some instances. Like, it's really, really bad.
Yeah, like
like at the time,
ones I've seen are very unusual. Like I described.
Cool World's fine. Cool World was like.
You think Cool World's fine?
That showed up in like theaters at some point.
I assumed that most of those were in theaters.
Cool World is okay compared to some of the others.
Okay, for people who don't know, Cool World is about Brad Pitt dying and having war flashbacks as he's rammed by another motorcycle, and then he wakes up in an afterlife made out of cartoons where he becomes a cop who stops cartoons from having coitus with human beings. Because if they do, it destroys the barrier between worlds. And people die.
The original version of that was actually way more interesting too, because the original version was like, okay, actual Cool World is like, oh, there's a secondary character who goes in and like fucks some pretty cartoon lady.
Yeah,
it's basically Roger Rabbit, but if Jessica Rabbit really wanted to leave the toon half of the world, which was another dimension.
Yeah, and the dude who goes in and gives her his human magic had just been released. Well, I figure if I say anything explicit, you're gonna bleep me out.
Yeah,
I know you're gonna.
I will. So go ahead and say what you wanted to say.
Look, the dude who fucks Hollywood so that she can turn into a real girl had just been released from prison from killing his wife, and that's never brought up past like one guy in a comic shop telling him he's
there's
gross.
One guy who mentions it, and that's it.
Like there's so many little plot threads that are just there to be kind of shocking and don't do anything.
So the big fucking reveal, by the way, for Cool World is basically that movie was not written that way. That movie was written completely different and was changed last minute to include I think to include Brad Pitt specifically, because originally his character had nothing to do with the movie, or was there and was like really, really small time compared to some of the other stuff. The original plot of that movie had nothing to do with Hollywood leaving Toon World. It was that Toon World, not Toon.
Cool World.
It's literally just Cool
Just
World.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool World had a internal mythological structure that believed in a deific being born. So they had like a Jesus. Like there was supposed to be a Jesus analog.
And it was supposed to be a hybrid of a Noid and a Doodle or whatever.
Yeah. Well, it was supposed to be a human being and a toon. Yeah. And
that's what they're called, though.
I know. And when that happens, they believed that would be somebody who could move independently back and forth and was going to bring about basically the end of the world. And that's why the cops didn't want toons and human beings like doing it or whatever.
What I love about the cop thing is that the cop character played by Brad Pitt, I don't know why I remember that specifically. It's just funny because like he got famous later, and that movie is so fucking weird.
It's such a bad movie for Brad Pitt to be in.
Yeah, but like anyways, like he dies in like the real world and goes to Cool World and stuff. Like it's assumed like decades before the real plot starts.
Yeah,
and he has a doodle for a girlfriend, a cartoon girl for a girlfriend. Yeah. They can't fuck for decades because he refuses to be the one to rip apart the time-space continuum with his dick. You're bleeping this out, aren't you?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
No,
he does this
not
to
at
me.
all, actually. I'm just going to let you sit with that and deal with it.
No, I don't mind. It's just you always scold me for saying things.
No, it's fine.
Well, anyways... Ever.
Okay, that's getting bleeped out. Don't
you said
I
could. I thought it was funny.
No, that's not funny.
Okay.
Jesus.
Well, anyways, there's a lot of plot threads in Cool World that don't go anywhere and just exist to be this really weird existential sort of bizarreness. of murderers and cops, and there's a spider at one point. He just has a friend who's just a talking spider, because it's a cartoon world and it's easy to forget.
Yeah, it's really obviously just that somebody saw Roger Rabbit and went, I could do that and make money doing that.
But let's make it grittier, and also put it in, like, this weird screaming hellscape where all the buildings are melting and on fire.
You say grittier, but, like, the original Roger Rabbit, like, the book series is so fucking dark compared to the movies.
I haven't read them.
It's great. So people don't really realize this for the most part, but Roger Rabbit is based on a book series that was intended for adults and stopped being an adult thing after the movie came out, because the original book series was like a full novel long, right? Mm-hmm. The movie came out, and then the author of the book wrote a second book in which it is remembered that the movie is correct and that the first novel was a dream.
Because it just outdid him so much and he was embarrassed?
Yeah, well, because they outdid him, he was embarrassed, but then he also realized that that is a much better way to market that particular series.
Yeah, I mean, it would sell his books.
It's like the original Who Framed Roger Rabbit is about Roger Rabbit being murdered. But then also it turns out that it's not about that at all, because it turns out that Roger Rabbit was never murdered, and that it has some weird, like, in-universe explanation for how it is that he basically evaded death. And it turns out that he framed himself for murder, and that he did it because he wanted to do some really weird, confusing thing.
We need so many magical reactors for so many planets.
I know, and I'm looking for illegal RAM, but I'm thinking I'm not actually picking that up off of any of these enemies. So
yeah, we might need to go out and, like, activate super enemies or some shit.
Potentially, yeah. I didn't even think of that, but yeah, that might actually be what it is. Because I would think that we'd be able to see where the illegal RAM was on here, but I'm not seeing illegal RAM on any of these enemies. I'm not seeing it on anybody, and nobody is question marks right now, which means that... I
saw a question mark down.
Yeah, but that's not...
It wasn't...
It wasn't, don't worry. So I'm thinking that this is probably going to mean that, yeah, we have to activate super enemies for this particular area, which takes electric switches.
Which probably drops off some robot, so we can check that.
From, so yeah, I'm going to have to check that. And this is becoming a big pain in my butt.
We could just do a bunch of this stuff off screen if you
want. No,
want.
yeah, I'm planning on doing a bunch of it off screen. I just want to do some of this too. So let's see. Tell me if you see electric switches, because I don't. Nothing. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to look up where to get those. Do you want to do one more thing of plot, and then we'll just
that sounds good. That sounds like enough time spent on this for now.
Yeah, for now anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and save, and then we'll rush through the plot. We'll do one more boss, and then we'll call it an end. Do you want to start final thoughts now?
Yeah, I do feel like we've been very scattered for this session.
Yeah, I feel like this session's been all over the place. I'm sorry to people listening if this has been really confusing and weird.
Well, I mean, I'm never going to apologize for talking about things like Cool World, except when I do.
I apologize for talking about Cool World.
I always want opportunities to talk about Cool World, and there's just so many opportunities where that would be a bad idea.
Yeah, well, I apologize either way. It's not a good movie.
No, it's
bad
not.
Like in general, just overall.
It's very much not a good movie. Fire and Ice, I don't think I'd even recommend. Ironically,
yeah,
there's moments in Fire and Ice that I find really fun. There's a witch who the characters run into, who seems kind of chill until you mention the bad guy, and she starts screaming about him because I guess he hurt her or something. And it's just the voice acting really gets wild for a second. It's really fun. I don't know, if you want to really sit down and look at like Ralph Bakshi stuff, it's like, I don't think I'd really recommend any of it to people. You have to have like a particular taste to accept it, and not like basically just find it awful. just be a weirdo.
Because it is, to be honest, it is pretty awful when you get right down to it. Like, I'm not even going to sugarcoat that. I think a lot of Ralph Bakshi's stuff is probably terrible.
I haven't seen a lot of it, so that's all I'm going to say. This whole train of thought started because you were talking about wizard guns.
Yeah. He did like a whole series for Mighty Mouse, too. That got canceled because parents got angry at him. Ralph Bakshi is one of the really weird sort of like look at how the cartoon industry has changed sort of situations when it comes to that. Because Ralph Bakshi is one of those guys who, he did adult stuff, like adult cartoons, and as a result of doing adult cartoons, parents didn't trust him to do children's stuff, and companies actively told him he was not allowed to. So he was completely blacklisted from being in the animation industry for a while, unless he was producing movies that were privately funded by corporations that felt that it was worth it to some extent. And even then, it wasn't usually privately funded. It was just funded by people Ralph knew or Ralph himself. And when you actually have him producing things for children, parents got really pissed off and basically, like, screamed him out of the industry.
This was pre-internet, so it wasn't likely that these kids would go on and, like, Google the name of the creator that they saw on the Wikipedia article and then find his other stuff. These kids probably wouldn't have known.
It was like an 80s or 90s Mighty Mouse cartoon. Yeah, it was, I think I'm going to say it's a whole series, but it's really not. I think he did like 12 episodes or something, and then it wound up just gone. And it's something that people took out of context, but even listening to it, like even saying it, kind of makes you think, well, maybe he was doing it intentionally? With like big old question mark? Because it was people... There's a scene in which Mighty Mouse is, like, severely hurt, and he's going to lose a fight, and he's probably going to die.
Okay, I've never seen this cartoon, by the way.
Yeah, and he thinks of a person who is, like, a girl who's very powerful and, like, oh, I love this character. And he pulls out a picture of her. Mm-hmm. And then he pulls out, like, a flower that she gave him, and he chops the flower up, and he, like, absorbs it as a powder. Like he breathes
like
it in
it?
and not snorts it.
Not
he
like
breathes
Coke.
It in, and by like turning it into powder and just like breathing it in, and then remembers a bunch of really nice things that they did together, and it gives him strength. That being said, he does slice it up into powder, and people went, this is a reference to cocaine, and Ralph Bakshi said, no, it isn't. And then he got fired. He got fired for basically making a reference to cocaine.
Yeah, it sounds like he was trying to be
cartoon.
coy.
Yeah, honestly, I kind of feel like that's probably true.
Hey, Bages, we got you a hat.
Yeah, I know.
Let's go put it on her.
I can't just... Oh, well, actually, maybe I could, yeah.
She doesn't have to be in the battle. She
it's
just
the Ferris hat. It looks like this. That's not very good.
Oh.
That's kind of just lame. I'm going to go with her genius brain.
Cool.
And her helper uniform. Favorite version of mages. Just
I still
completely
like
normal
regular
person.
mages better, but I do like the joke.
Up? We picked up a new rod.
Oh, cool.
Look at that. It's full of gears and shit.
Neat.
It's called the God Machine.
I like it.
Yeah, that's actually really cool. I like it.
None of those gears actually interlock with each other. They're useless.
No, it's just a gear-covered rod, I guess.
I'm sure it's just another Steins Gate reference. Someday we'll find out what that is.
I know vaguely what Steins Gate is. I just don't watch it.
There's a lot of animes that we've never seen, and honestly, we should just stop doing other things and just watch a bunch of anime and then come back and tell you all the secrets of anime that God handed to us on these stone tablets. But we're not doing that yet.
Potentially, yeah.
Maybe later.
Maybe.
I did pick up a bunch of manga from Humble Bundle recently, and I have not looked at any of it, so that might happen. I might just sort of have to just hole up in my room and not emerge until I know everything that happens in Seven Deadly Sins. I've seen the anime, it's okay.
Yeah, I forgot you would actually pick that up.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's Humble Bundle does things DRM free, so I can, not you guys at home, no. I can give Josh the copies as well.
Yeah.
Then we can read together, or not.
Yeah. It would be illegal to hand it out to other people.
No, I mean, if it's DRM free, I think that means they don't care, but I'm not doing that.
Trust me, they care.
Okay, yeah. But it's like you can have it on more than one tablet.
Emperor.
Huh? Okay.
Imperial Qatar. Here's a plan for an item. You're worried about the ingredients? No problem. Everything's fine.
Hope so.
Panacea.
Is that how you say that?
That's how I say it.
I've never heard it said out loud, but I've seen it
Panacea.
written. I've seen it written in books and stuff, and I was pronouncing it Panacea in my head.
I don't know. Maybe that's what it is.
I don't know.
I pronounce it Panacea.
Well, we'll put up a poll.
Here's a plan for a weapon. I wish we could use futuristic weapons like these.
We will not actually put up a poll.
Beam katana.
I'll probably just look it up on dictionary.com.
Yeah, I really wish that you'd stop making jokes like that, because that's literally work for me that you're joking about. It's like,
No,
okay.
The joke is that we're not going to do it. I don't know why you get so
Here's
nervous.
a plan for a costume. I wish my girlfriend wore this. It's the mage
we already have
checkers.
that.
Yeah, we do. It's not very good, actually.
It
I don't
was
know
just
why
a
you wish his
recolor of her
girlfriend
regular
would wear
thing.
that. Yeah, it's just black and white mage's outfit.
You don't wish your girlfriend would wear Mage's outfit? Because I do.
Not really. I mean, I don't know what I gain out of that.
Well,
I know
I get
you
an
wish
outfit.
my girlfriend would.
It would be cool. It would look weird
It is.
on me
It's a cool
because I'm like
outfit.
a regular person and not an
Okay.
anime girl.
All right, we've done a boss. Do you want to call it a day?
Oh yeah, we should.
Okay. Do you want to? Nah, let's not even. Let's not.
Let's not what?
Okay, fuck it. You want to try Polytan?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll give him a shot. We've seen this like 3 times already, so let's not bother having to watch it.
Yeah.
No matter what comes, I'll just shoot them down.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got more or less our full party.
Yeah, well, we do have a full party. It's just.
Can you buff it? Does she have a buff?
She doesn't have a buff, as far as I know. She might. I just don't know it, but I'm pretty sure she's explicitly a healing character. Because we've got that's an attack, and then heal, 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 heal. As is actually revive. This is a detox. This is an antidote, and that's it.
It would be nice if she got like a latent revive where you just put it over someone and then when they die it auto revives.
That would be nice, but I can understand why that doesn't happen.
Yeah, some Final Fantasies have that.
Occasionally, yeah. I think Pokemon might technically have that, but I don't know. I can't think of what attack I'm thinking of that does that.
I don't remember one.
Yeah, I could be wrong.
No attacking
Okay.
while I'm transforming. I'll show you the power of a goddess.
So maybe I'm thinking. Nah, I guess I might be just thinking of something else entirely. I'm probably wrong.
Like it would be like a reverse Destiny bond or
Yeah,
something.
like yeah.
Yeah, I don't think one exists.
No, I don't think that they do. I think you're right.
But it should. It would be interesting. It would probably be broken and have to be banned from
Oh yeah,
tournaments.
yeah, it would be super broken. I don't think it would be banned because they don't ban moves usually.
Don't they ban certain combos of moves?
No. They'll ban specific moves only if they are glitched out.
Okay.
So things like whatever Bravery's signature technique is, the weird
Braviary?
flying. Yeah. Braviary, whatever. Its signature move, which is it's a fly-like attack, but it's not actually fly. That one's super banned because if you use that in combination with, I think it's just on its own. I think there's an actual thing involving it that is just super broken. It's glitched out though, and it'll cause Pokemon to be stuck in fly forever.
Oh.
Yeah, but that was only in 5th gen. I think they fixed it.
Yeah, I've never
second
heard
half of 5th
this,
gen
so
onward.
There we go.
Yeah.
Did they patch it in the games that had already been released, or did it just...
No, because they couldn't... a lot of people had a really bad misconception of like what they could actually do in those games. They couldn't patch Pokemon games until the 3DS.
Hold on. They've been able technically to patch since 3rd gen, you just have to do it through really
Okay, well they
weird
couldn't
means.
patch online.
Yeah, well, 5th gen had a bunch of things that went online, so it's not completely out of the question. But it would have been something like, oh, you connect this game to the Coliseum disc, which I guess they didn't have an equivalent of for 5th gen, but they had Dream World. Could they have not put a patch in through? No?
Did not work, no.
Or at least we know that they didn't do it.
I am almost positive that their argument was literally, it's just not possible. We just cannot get it to function correctly.
Oh well.
Can't be.
At least they fixed it in later games.
Yeah, they did. And I think the first time that they did an actual patch to a Pokemon game was in 6th gen. Because in X and Y, Lumiose had a really, really bad glitch.
Oh man, I remember hearing about that.
If you saved outside of Lumiose City, almost at any time outside of Lumiose City, it would just delete your save data. Like, almost completely.
Yeah, I remember in the first, like, few weeks of 6th Gen being out, Like, just, that was all that I was seeing on, like, Tumblr and Twitter was people screaming, don't do this thing, just don't do this thing, you'll ruin your game.
Yeah, pretty much. It was really bad, too. To have anything that kind of, like, deletes save data in a Pokemon game is pretty heinous.
Yeah, because, I mean, more than any other game's progress, Pokemon's like, those are your friends.
Yeah, I mean, at least to some extent, sure, yeah. Compass Revival.
Wake up.
I don't think we've actually seen this yet.
I mean, not much happens.
Aww, Uni's all tsundere. She's like, I didn't ask for help, you know.
Yeah, well, you got it.
Yeah, right?
You're the littlest daughter. You need to be watched after by your sisters.
Well, I mean, her sister's not actually here.
Yeah. Is Uni a better fighter for what we like to do than Noir is?
Maybe the only reason I was really using her is because she started out on our team because we picked her up right at the end.
But also you like that she rushes.
The first cycle. But yeah, no, she rushes and her rush is really good actually.
It's gonna be satisfying when we finally get Polytan off of the screen.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it now.
Yeah. The guard's broken, so no.
Nope, not quite. Getting there, but not quite.
Yeah.
Very, very hurt. Both, like every character here, by the way.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and breadcrumbs him. It did not kill him.
It did good though. It did like a quarter.
Did okay.
It'll be okay. Although you might want to switch someone out if they're low.
No, it's fine. I can make this work.
Okay.
Too slow. Taking this serious?
Oh man.
I'm just trying to wail on him, basically. I broke his guard. I'm getting in here now.
Okay, it's like another quarter of his health gone.
Yep. Almost dead. Very close.
You missed. Shit.
It's okay. Actually, no, it isn't. I'm gonna bring her back. She needs the experience, so.
Yeah.
I want her here. I don't want her dead. It's okay. It's because his guard came back.
Now, I was just thinking, she's not in HD.
Yeah, because she died, and I didn't go through the trouble of bringing it back.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
Polytan
Look at all that experience, by the way. Woo. That's a lot of experience. We also picked up 68,000 credits doing that fight.
Nice.
But the experience is nuts. We're going to go up crazy levels now.
No items, but okay.
No, so I'm actually legitimately curious as to how many levels we're about to gain. 83 for Neptune. I think she was 70-something.
Huh.
84, wow. 82, 81, 85, 78. Oh
man, anyone who's not in our party right now is missing out.
79, 74. Yeah, I know.
So like Falcom and
64.
Broccoli and all of them.
Jesus. Burned out, man. Just like the dying ember of ashes. What, like Dark Souls?
I don't know.
Okay. Whew. That was pretty intense.
I thought it was gonna be sandbagging time. What? But I didn't expect backups.
Maybe she just thought that it was gonna be like wailing on him nonstop. Just
but
one
then
of
there
them.
were 4 of him.
As they say, force by numbers, dig. Now then, here.
Oh.
Fury, Aaron received. Obtain the Firise series. Wait, like... Oh! I thought there was more DLC that we just didn't pick up yet. Okay.
Neato!
Yeah.
Neato, thanks, yellow weird bear thingy. You the man.
Oh, and if you want to test yourselves out again, stop by the Coliseum.
Okay, so we can farm him.
Yeah.
Cool.
Come and visit me if you need some challenges. I'll show you my real stuff.
Oh yeah? I'll beat you silly again. Count on it.
Yeah, we got a lot of levels doing that.
Nice.
So before we actually beat him, we were 78.
Woo.
And we went up to, I believe it was
83.
84. 83. So that's a pretty good amount of experience.
Damn.
Let's see,
Beautiful.
we also picked up a sword. It's this one, which is a massive buff to everything.
Nice.
That is a gigantic buff. Yeah, it's literally doubling our strength.
A collaborative weapon with Fury Fencer
Yeah.
F.
Yep,
a sword themed after a Fury. Aaron.
Nice.
Whatever that means. We don't have that game.
No, I vaguely know what that game is, but yeah, that's... Yeah.
Yeah, I know I've seen the name.
I've seen it in
this...
GameStop. I just...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's an RPG. It's a JRPG.
I assume it's by the same company. Or one of the ones
No. It's just a crossover game. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Well, anyways, yeah, we don't have it. We don't know about it, but we got a sword from it.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Neat. So then the other thing I'm going to guess is probably outfits. But no, is it not? Okay. Was it ornaments? We picked up a thing, and I want to figure out what the hell it was.
When?
He gave us a plan, too. It was a bunch of stuff. It was like the collection of things from it.
It was like Fairy Series or something?
Yeah, it was like the Fairy Series, which tells me that it's probably a bunch of these things, but I can't figure out where they are. Yeah, just a whole thing of
plans.
Yeah, and I'm not seeing any new ones, so it's bothering the hell out of me.
I don't know. There's a chance that it was just one of those little key item collectibles that doesn't do anything.
No. I mean, yeah, but no. That would be really
annoying. But it might be.
I really hope that's not the case, actually. I'm going to check that in just a second to make sure, but I just wanted to check and see some of these first, and I'm not seeing it anywhere, so it might actually be that. Oops.
Yeah.
No, I'm not seeing it. So it's got to be something somewhere.
I don't know.
We probably skipped over it, and I'm gonna feel dumb because maybe it's literally that it doesn't have a new on it if it's a plan, and we've just never noticed.
I don't think that's true.
I don't know though.
Oh yeah,
just... Steins Gate stuff. Right. That's just the stuff for mages. If we keep going down, I'm not seeing anything new, so I don't know.
I don't know.
Huh. I guess maybe it was just in there and we missed it, or it's in a weird place. I have no idea. Ladies' hat. Yeah.
Huh,
okay.
that's just some
more Steins Gate stuff, I think. Okay, so I'm just gonna check in here real fast to make absolutely sure there's nothing going on. We know for a fact that some of the new stuff that we are actually going to have to go out and get is going to be this person or people.
Yeah, we have the small whale ball.
Yeah, I picked up all of the items for these, like, in Cycle 1, by the way.
Yeah.
It's literally just been the, like, share completion things that have been bugging me. And Loey's at 25, so by the time we come back, I'm going to have ground well into that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's going to be fine.
No worries.
So final thoughts, I guess?
I think we've been final thinking this whole time. Stay dead, Polytan.
Yes, stay dead, Polytan.
Ugh.
That guy was real annoying.
Yeah, and I'm gonna just probably have to look on like just DeviantArt search and see if anyone's actually made a Zune girl so that I don't have to.
I kind of doubt it, to be honest.
Well, if no one has, then I guess I will someday.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe
you might have to. I don't know.
Or not.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.